So if there's one thing we learned over the past year or so, it's that change is a constant. Whether we like it or not, things are going to happen. So hopefully a lot of the changes that you're going to go through over the next 6, 9, 12 months and beyond are positive changes. They're going to bring, difficulties, but they are positive changes. And if you're watching this going, feeling a bit unsure about that, how I'm going to structure this change, I suggest there's always 5 things, especially if you're in business, 5 ways you should think about the changes. And it's not what's going to happen, right? It's more how can you keep your people on board? How can you keep communicating to them as they go through changes? So the first change is organizational changes, structural changes, right? Are people going to be furloughed? Is it a small team? Is it a bigger team? Are you working as a hybrid, working from home, kind of from the office together? What's the organizational change, right? The second change is you need to think about the relationship changes, the relational changes. Are certain people going to be promoted? You can have small teams, bigger teams. How's it actually going to affect how people talk to each other and the relationships they have, right? Because it's not just about the organization, it's the relationships within the organization, right? Then you need to think about the changes for you personally, right? For you in that leadership role where you're just thinking, how's that gonna affect me? Because I'm suddenly gonna have to deal with that person in a different way. I'm gonna do this. How is it gonna relate to you personally? Take time for you, Then the next way to think about it is, how are these changes going to impact the community? Our local community, or if you're online, it might be a global community. Your niche, your people, how is it going to affect your community? And this is where I think a lot of people have got a lot of leverage and opportunity to help people, is they're realizing, hang on a second, there's more to our business than just value and profits. We can help our local community. And a lot of people over the last year have reached out and really improved their communities, their local and their global communities. So that's a really nice way of thinking about it. How can we help our communities through the changes? And then the final thing to think about is, what about our clients? Are we talking to our clients? Do they know these changes are coming? Our customers, do they know? Because I found out, right, when people know a change is coming, it's so much better than if they don't know the change is coming. Here's an easy way to think about it. If I said to you right now, there's a bear coming through the door, right behind you, 10 seconds, you'd be like, okay. And then when the bear comes, you're like, right, I'm off. Whereas if I hadn't told you the bear was coming, the bear comes, you freeze, and you're like, oh. So think of it like that. It's a phrase I often use, the bear is coming, the change is coming. But if you're using those 5 ways, if you're communicating those 5 ways, the changes, the organizational change, the relationship changes, your individual changes, how you're going to change with your community, how it's going to impact and change your customers and clients for the better, then they'll be on board with you and they'll roll with you. All right. So change is a good thing, just making sure that we're communicating those 5 areas as you go through those changes, and you'll be absolutely fine.